Hey there, mamas. I'm Lauren Brainerd, and I'm so excited to be recording this very first episode of the Teach Your Littles at Home show. Today, I'm going to be sharing all about how we got started doing simple activities at home and how it became part of our daily routine. I hope you feel inspired, and I hope this makes you want to run to your craft closet and grab all the things you need to start doing activities at home with your own little ones. So let's dive right in as I share all about the start of our own homeschool preschool journey. Today I'm going to take you on a journey down memory lane as I think back to what life was like in 2018, right after I had my second child. My daughter was 3 or 4 weeks old now. My son was 2.5. And let me tell you, that little boy was craving attention. By craving, I mean he needed it so badly. His world had been rocked. He went from one-on-one time with mom to now he had to share me with a little sister. And if you have 2 kids, you know there is a big change that happens when kids go from having all that one-on-one time to now I have to share mom. So I made a plan. I decided I would take the time during my baby's morning nap and make it our activity time. So I did what every mom does. I went on Pinterest late at night, I started scrolling, and I was looking for the next activity. We did a few activities together each morning, and my son loved them. So naturally, I did what every mama does. I started scrolling Pinterest to see what activities I wanted to do with him. Found a few fun things. We tried them out over the course of the week. And he just ate up this time together. He wanted every single morning to do another activity. He couldn't get enough. He wanted to learn. He wanted to learn letters and numbers and counting. We were doing fine motor things with cutting and pasting. But it was a lot for me every night. I was staying up way too late looking on Pinterest for the next thing to do, and I knew I needed a plan. So it was late August. It was going into fall, back to school time. So I decided I was going to try to plan a unit. I would take my teaching background since I taught first grade for a few years, and I'd spent some time in kindergarten, I'd been in preschools, and I would use everything I'd learned and try to just put together a really simple unit study we could do. I thought apples would be fun. What kid doesn't love to learn about apples? So that night I sat down and I came up with 5 different categories that we would work on. I did a sensory bin, an art activity, a fine motor activity, gross motor, which is, their physical development. We would go outside and run and do something with apples. But I just wanted a more concise plan so that I could say we were doing school together. He was 2.5, he was preschool aged, and I just thought that would be the best way to go about this so that I wasn't spending so much time on Pinterest looking for the next thing to do. Once I came up with what I wanted to do with him, I grabbed my computer, I made some really quick printable things, and I was ready. The next morning he woke up and I told him that today was the day we are starting preschool. You're 2.5, you're ready, and you and mommy every morning are going to do school together. And if you could have seen the excitement in this little boy's eyes, he was over the moon. Just you and me, mommy, we get to do school together? So I started the day with a field trip to the grocery store to go buy apples. We talked about the colors, we felt them, we looked at different sizes. We had so many great conversations. I had my baby in a ring sling, my son in the cart, and away we went. We bought 15 apples because we wanted to try them all. Came home from the grocery store and we started with an apple washing station. I gave him a bowl of water, he washed the apples. Then I gave him another bowl where he would rinse them. And then we had a drying station, which was just a towel laid on the ground where he could dry all the apples. We talked about how we washed things. We scrubbed. We looked at the different apples. We even did a science experiment. We talked about do apples sink or float? And we dropped one in to see what would happen. And it was so much fun. I think we were out there for 30 to 45 minutes washing apples. And mama, if you have a 2-year-old, you know that getting your child to do the same thing for 30 minutes is hard. So this was working. I was even able to sneak in the house and go make dinner while he was outside washing apples. And he had so much fun. He was covered head to toe in water, ran in and gave him a bath, and the night went on. But what I didn't expect was him to say, I want to do another activity. And so I pulled out the sensory bin I had put together. All it was rolled oats, some uppercase and lowercase letter A's. We called them big A's and little A's, and we sorted them. He got to run his fingers through the sensory bin. He had the best time, and I loved it because he was learning. He was happy. He wasn't demanding attention. He wasn't upset when I did things with his younger sister. He was just excited to be doing things that were created just for him. So throughout the week, we did a lot of other things. We worked on some fine motor skills by stringing yarn on letter A's. We talked a lot about the letter A. He learned the name of the letter A and what it looked like by the end of the week. We did lacing cards. And the best part was every single morning he woke up and he said, "I want to do more activities, Mommy," which was completely unexpected for me that he would eat this up the way that he did. And this is how Toddler School was born in our home. I never planned on coming up with any kind of structured program or doing school every morning at home, but it happened. And we made more memories in the next 18 months than I ever dreamed of that could happen with the two of us. I started creating units for all sorts of different things. So we did A is for apples, B is for butterfly, C is for car, D is for dinosaur. And we had so much fun every day. Once I went back to work after maternity leave, we had 3 days a week at home to do this. And we spent close to 2 hours every single morning doing different activities. And the same thing would happen the next day. "Mom, can we do more toddler school?" He just loved it. Now fast forward 5 years. I want to share all the tips and tricks that I've learned in my own journey doing homeschool preschool with my kids at home so that you too can do activities with your kids and help you to feel successful while you're doing them. Do you have to go to the store and buy apples? No, you have to do what works for you. That might mean playing with water in the backyard, using chalk, painting, working on fine motor skills, making messy sensory bins, making sensory bins that don't make a mess. Whatever your style is, whatever works for you as a mom is what you should be doing with your child. So on this next episode, on this podcast, I'm going to be sharing all about how you can get started with a morning routine with your children so that you too can experience the same joy that is learning with your kids at home. You can call it school. You can call it play. It doesn't matter what it's called, but the principles are the same. We're doing activities with our little ones at home. We're keeping them busy so we can make dinner, so we can get to the next activity, whether it be sports or the next family dinner, whatever it is. We have a day to fill, and why not fill it with learning and really fun moments with your kids so that you can make those memories together. I have a little surprise for you as my way of saying thanks for following along this long in this very first episode of my podcast. So I have put together 26 days of free activities. All you have to do is click the link in my show notes and it'll take you to a form on my blog where you can sign up for 26 days of toddler fun. You could use these with your kids anywhere from 2 to 4 years old, and it'll take you through crafts, sensory bins, fine motor activities, one for each letter of the alphabet that each touches on a different theme, so you can kind of try things out. See what works for you, see what your kids enjoy, see what you enjoy, and just try things out. If you do try any of these activities with your little ones, I would love for you to tag me on Instagram @ThePrimaryBrain so that I can see all the fun that you're having in your homes as well. I just want to end by saying thank you again for tuning in for the whole episode and listening as I shared our heart and shared the fun things that we have been able to do as a family as a result of all these activities that we spend filling our busy days with. You're probably hearing my baby in the background right now. She is awake from her nap. We're all busy. Let me just say, life is busy, but it's so much more fulfilling when we can fill the quiet moments of our day with our little ones with really fun activities that are helping them grow. So it is easier to get started than you think with doing activities with your little ones. And I'm sharing all about how easy this is in the next episode. So if you're still feeling a little uneasy about what to do or what activities to use or what materials you might need, then I have everything you need to know in the next episode. So I hope that helps you get started, and I'll see you on the next one.
If you like listening to my mommy, will you please leave her a review?
On the next episode of my podcast, I will be sharing everything you need to know to get started teaching your little ones at home. In the meantime, I would love for you to leave me a review and then go dive right into the next episode. Have a wonderful day playing and learning with your little ones at home.